Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for the Daily Giz Wiz is provided by AOL Music and Spinner.com, where you can get free MP3s, exclusive interviews, and more.
It's time for the Daily Giz Wiz with Mad's maddest writer, Dick DeBartolo. This is episode 1012 for Tuesday, January 26th, 2010. The Fitbit. The Daily Giz Wiz is brought to you by Audible.com. For your free book, sign up for a gold account today at audible.com/gizwiz.
And now, get ready for Dick.
Hey, it's Dick DeBartolo, Mad's maddest writer, and the Giz Wiz. One day a week, Leo Laporte looks under his desk and finds some piece of junk because it's Turn the Table Tuesday.
Today.
I'm so good. And how are you?
I'm good. I have brought you a special gadget from my gadget warehouse. I call it the gadget warehouse. And
the gadget under the desk.
Under the desk where we store gadgets in case Leo doesn't have something to tell you about. I'm going to show you this gadget.
Is it a foreign gadget?
I'm going to show you this gadget.
Very beautiful accent you're doing.
No, it's from America.
Okay.
Here is gadget. You take a look. You tell me, what do you think this gadget does?
Is it an antenna of some sort?
No.
It has a base and like a 3-inch little extension.
Yeah, looks like antenna.
But it's not.
But it's not.
Is it a receiver? Do you plug it into something and then wirelessly get a signal to go to something else?
Actually, it does both send and receive. If I take it apart, maybe that'll help. This is a good. We could play What the Heck Is It with this.
Yeah.
Isn't that good? Now, this might give it away because the top part, the piece that I just removed from the antenna bottom part, you can see it's kind of got like
it looks like a big clip.
It's like a clip, isn't it? That, my friend, you're looking at one of the most difficult to obtain modern gadgets of the 21st century. That is a Fitbit.
A Fitbit?
Yes, a Fitbit.
What does it fit? What does that bit fit?
It fits my bits. What do you think? The Fitbit, the Fitbit, if you go to Fitbit.com, you can find out all about the Fitbit. The Fitbit is kind of like a fancy pedometer that you put on your belt clip, and it keeps track of your steps, your activity. Well, let me show you, because there's a button on the side of the Fitbit that I can push, and it'll give you a little readout. So today, so far, I've taken 2,943 steps.
Right in it.
It's an OLED screen. See the little steps?
Yeah.
I have 1.3 miles I have walked. I have burned 1,495 calories because it knows my height and my weight and my age.
You know, that's a fair amount of calories. Did you go to class today?
I did.
Okay.
And it has a little flower. Now, the more active you are, the bigger the flower grows. You're trying to get the flower to grow. So this is a pedometer for the 21st century is the idea. Inside the Fitbit, this high-tech device has not just like a jiggle sensor like a pedometer does, but it has a three-way accelerometer, so it knows kind of where it is in space. So it's actually very accurate in terms of the steps you've taken, but it does something else which is kind of cool. So it monitors your activity, and by the way, it really is just a pedometer. You know, I was hopeful that when I did weightlifting, for instance, it would notice that, or when I did bicycling or rowing, it would notice that. It's really more running and walking is what it notices. But then, when it gets within proximity of the little Fitbit base, it transmits the information from your activity to the base, which then transmits it to your computer, Windows or Mac, which then transmits it to the internet, and you get this great website where you can track your activity. Furthermore, and I think this is the thing that got me. So you can see here it says synced 1 hour ago. It synced just by proximity. I just had to walk nearby. In conjunction with, I'm trying to lose weight and get in shape.
Yes, yeah.
So the website, the dashboard on the Fitbit website does include, you can do a food log, you can do an activity log. So I probably should, because it's not showing, the fact that I did the weights and stuff like that. It's a little bit rudimentary on the activity log. You really only have walking, running, biking, swimming, or you just kind of guess what you've done. I've done some activity. There are better sites for something like this, like Daily Burn. You can also log your weight. It doesn't know your weight. But here's the thing I thought was most interesting. We've talked about those sleep watches before, right? This will keep track of your sleep stats. So I think this is kind of cool. When you keep the Fitbit on, there has a little wrist pouch that you put the Fitbit into, and you keep it on at night. You also have to press the Fitbit button. If you press and hold it for 2 seconds, it says start, and then you press and hold it again when you wake up the next morning. So that's telling it, I'm going to sleep now. So start monitoring my sleep, because otherwise it wouldn't know. But then it does this really kind of cool thing. It starts to figure out. Well, for instance, this was last night, or was it last night, or maybe the night before? I went to bed at 11:35 p.m. Took me 6 minutes
to the bathroom at 3:33.
Well, it does. It shows you it tells you when you got up. So it took me only 6 minutes to fall asleep, which kind of was a revelation. I always think it takes me half an hour. I won't lie. I was awakened. Now this is a moderate amount of times, 35 times in the night. Now I think the way it knows that you're awake is because you're moving around. And some of those 35 times are grouped together. So you see here at midnight, I'm tossing and turning a little bit. Then I sleep for a stretch, no movement. Then at 12:59 and 1. And then a long stretch going all the way to 2:30. And then I'm kind of awake. And I think I did actually wake up at 2:30. And I did some computer stuff till 4:30. Then went back to sleep. And so
at 5:30, you were sleepwalking.
Yeah. If you walk, it'll tell you.
You ate a salad.
Yeah. So it says I was in bed for 9 hours and 35 minutes, but I only slept for 7 hours and 22 minutes. And so, yeah, that was Monday. So I can look at, so here's today. Let's see what I didn't sleep today, did I? So actually that was last night. Now, I can go back in time and you can see how you did it. It even gives you a rating.
Is there a more wired person in America than you?
Well, I'm waiting for this to
send this scale. 3 million people know about it.
Tweets my scale, tweets my weight. Yeah.
How many times you got up to pee during the night? I mean, this is.
Now, Dr. Mom, who's a trained thinker, points out that it's really not really monitoring whether you were asleep or just moving around. But I have to say, I mean, if you're moving around, they count as sleep the time that you spend that's actually, not, kind of not moving. And I think that that's reasonable. So these are the time when I'm probably in REM sleep, right? Because I'm just like zonked. Now, I wasn't feeling well this night. I went to bed at 10:14. I fell asleep 19 minutes later. I woke 58 times. But I only got 6 hours of sleep. And see, that's because I was tossing and turning. So you can actually see that was on Friday night. You can actually start to see a pattern, and it gives you a sleep efficiency.
You know what? That's interesting. Your sleep is sponsored. There are 3 commercial breaks.
Well, I do. I have the commercial breaks. That's when I sat up and said, this nap brought to you by Audible.com. For your free book, go to audible.com.
I think that's why you're not getting complete rest.
I shouldn't wake up and do those
waking up for the commercial breaks.
See, this was a good night. My sleep efficiency, it says, is 93%. I went to sleep at 11:19. This is even just to find out when you go to sleep every night, It took me 7 minutes to fall asleep.
This is good.
Yeah. 12 times was I awoken. That's not bad, just 12 times. I was in bed for almost 8 hours, and I got 7 hours and 12 minutes of sleep. See, that's good. I think this is good stuff. So this is, the idea
how much does something like this cost?
Well, it's only $18,000, but how much is your health worth? No, it's $100. Actually, the hard part is getting one, because it's in such demand that if you go to the store right now, for instance, it'll say, we are filling pre-orders. We'll be shipping our next shipment February 17th.
Oh.
You can't get it right away, even though you might want to. I ordered this almost a year ago. I ordered it before it was released. Heard about this from Kevin Rose, who it was his pick at the TechCrunch 50, where entrepreneurs go to present their new ideas. And they said at that time, that was more than a year ago, well, we're going to be in production by January 2008 and fulfilling orders by March. I ordered it then, and I didn't get it till January 2009. 2009, and then by January 2010, I got it a year later. But I think it's part of my, I'm trying to get metrics on everything, how active I am, what I'm eating, what my weight is, because it supports me in my regimen to get healthy, to get fit. And I think this is very cool.
No, it's great.
Now, if you walk
are
for
you still having that big I'm going to lose weight dinner Friday night?
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. We're going to have a turducken.
I'll be there.
That's going to be so good. Turducken?
Oh,
it's a turkey with a duck with a chicken in it. And then
that's nice.
Oh, it's so good. Well, it's okay because they take out the bones, so it's low calorie.
And that's what puts on the most weight.
Oh, everybody knows. You shouldn't be eating the bones.
No, don't eat the bones.
And then we have kerpuppel for dessert.
What is that?
That's a cherry, raspberry, and rhubarb pie baked into a cake.
Oh,
it's the dessert turducken.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you have like whipped cream or something to jazz it up?
Well,
ice cream, fudge, some kind of syrupy thing?
Exactly.
Because otherwise, those things are
they
deadly.
Could be dry.
You need something.
So I have all of the above. Just
excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Oh, it's going to be so good. Yeah. But if you had the Fitbit, you would know that you had walked 5 feet to get there. And that's the key. But you walk, you do yoga, you're very...
I like to walk.
This would be good for that.
I have my own car.
You're supposed to get 10,000 steps a day. And I have yet to do that.
I have no place to put them.
Well, you could leave to the second floor.
Oh, okay.
You stack them. But I've yet to get to 10,000 steps, even though I worked out today, for instance. I lifted weights for an hour. I did the Stairmaster. I worked out for, an hour and a half. But because, weights don't register on this thing. Stairmaster probably does. I don't know if rowing, I don't think rowing does. They say if you cycle, you should just enter it in because we're not going to know. This thing has a battery that goes for about a week. You charge it by putting it on the base unit. And it charges in about an hour and a half. You can actually see it puts a little... display of how the battery is, if it's charging or not. And when it's fully charged, you can just take it off. It will hold the data for a week too. So if you don't get near to your base station for a week, it's okay. It'll save the data and upload it as soon as you get within, a few feet of the base station.
So is there a monthly charge too? The unit's $99, right?
No monthly fee.
No monthly fee.
No.
Wow.
Which I think that's kind of important. I think that's a good deal. I think it's there is another company, I think Panasonic, I think, makes something similar, but they charge it like $8 or $9 a month. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, no,
it's too expensive. But this is $100 and that's it. It's an expense. Look, if you're thinking of a pedometer, you can get one. My doctor gives me one for free. You can get a pedometer for nothing, just a few bucks that will be perfectly adequate, perfectly accurate. But this is, if you're a geek and you like that kind of thing, this is kind of fun. And it gives you some additional information like that sleep information, which I think is very fun, very interesting.
You should have one that you sell with your logo on it.
Oh.
Because it would be the Twit Fitbit.
Ooh, I like that. The Twit Fitbit. I should contact them. The Twit Fitbit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I guess the website is free. I guess I told you everything. The website's free. You get to keep track of all this stuff. Fitbit, that's it. Fitbit.com is the place to go. You get
$99.
Get graphs of your performance over time. And you can share. There is a social aspect of this. You can invite friends, but you can also see how you're doing compared to other Fitbit users in terms of steps, in terms of activity, miles, and so forth. So that's kind of handy too, and you could do it by gender or by age. So my rank among men who use a Fitbit,
you're a man among men, Leo. I don't need any chart to tell me.
But among old men, 50 to 60, I'm getting in there. So this is in my body mass index. This is really a great adjunct, I think, to overall health and fitness. Walk those 10,000 steps, absolutely. That's really important.
Shoes.
Walk 10,000 steps in my shoes. Fitbit.com.
Like it. I like it.
Now, I would say if you are wearing a Fitbit and doing a lot of walking, you might want to take a look at Audible.com. That's our great sponsor, the folks who do those audio books, all that audio entertainment. Just a really great site. If you go to audible.com/GizWiz right now, audible.com/GizWiz, we're going to set it up so that you can get your first book free, so you can get an idea of what Audible would be like for you. Because I know, I can say, oh, you're going to love Audible, but until you actually try it, you won't know if this is something for you. And it might not be. I have a feeling since you listen to podcasts, it is. We know you like audio entertainment. So the cool thing about Audible is, you can get your reading done in those times when you would normally not be able to. You'd be listening to, music or Dick and Leo mess around. The times you're in the car or at the gym or taking a walk or walking the dog. Audible.com/GizWiz. Go there right now. Get your first book free. You'll sign up for the Gold account. That's a book a month. First book is yours to keep. And here's my recommendation. I can't wait to listen to this one. It's called The Improbable Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Did you see the movie yet? The Sherlock Holmes movie?
I have not.
Oh, I loved it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I loved it. I really did.
Good, okay.
Yeah, I love Robert Downey Jr. And I love Sherlock Holmes. So the idea of this is these are modern Sherlock Holmes stories, not written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, but by some of the greatest writers of our time, including Stephen King, Neil Gaiman, Anthony Burgess. It's 21 hours. I cannot wait to listen to it, of great Sherlock Holmes stories as interpreted by some of the best authors of our time. But that's just one example. They actually have the classic Sherlock Holmes stories. In fact, they have let me look this up because they have quite a few different narrators for these. It's one of the things that makes Audible, that really distinguishes Audible from the other stuff, is that the narrators here are so good. They're not just readers. They bring the book to life. When you're listening, you feel like you're in 1800s London. Christopher Lee, for instance, does Sherlock Holmes.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be great? They have quite a few done by Edward Raleigh, who I haven't heard, but I bet you, knowing Audible, that's going to be the guy. You're going to get used to it. 226 Sherlock Holmes stories on Audible.com. But I think it'd be fun to listen to this new one, narrated by Simon Vance, who's one of the best Audible readers. The Improbable Modern Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. How about that for your book of the week? Go to audible.com/GizWiz, and you can get a new book every month or more. Audible.com/GizWiz. The first one's yours free. We thank Audible so much for their support of the Daily Giz Wiz Show.
On your way to work, on your way to school, when you can't read a book, don't be a fool. Get Audible, over 50,000 books. Audible, I love my platinum account. Get Audible.
Audible.com/GizWiz.
Here come the letters, the letters. Here come the Giz Wiz letters now. Here come the Giz. I said the Giz Wiz letters now.
Oh, yeah.
How
And
did you
now,
find that letter?
a letter that Dick sent me. Let me see. It came from you,
From
right?
it was dated last Tuesday, and it's forwarded from me.
Is it let's see. The Slightly Obsessed Listener?
That's it. That's it.
It says, gentlemen. Oh, well, there we go. Now we know we have a problem. Anybody who says gentlemen.
We're in big trouble. I'm in big trouble.
Now, this
Go
came
ahead.
from, and we should set it up, because last week, actually several weeks ago, we had a conversation about the total cost of the gadgets ever reviewed on the Giz Wiz.
Right. Now, he sent me an email, but it was 3 pages long, and it came in about 20 minutes before we started
So
recording.
he corrected our initial impressions. He said, that's so wrong. It's much, much more than that.
That's it.
But then as we talked about it, it just seemed apparent that he hadn't done his homework. So he's responding to our response to his response to the original email.
Right. And that response is the response that I sent you, so you could read his response.
So let me respond by saying,
Okay.
Here's his response. Gentlemen, with more than considerable dismay, I just watched the live netcast of the Daily Giz Wiz to be released on January 20th. I know my email was long, but the two of you publicly and unfairly maligned and slandered of me because of Dick's hurried misreading of my letter. Dick made it sound as if I only included 200 gadgets in my spreadsheet. Wrong! I stated quite clearly it was Ludwig who said that he had created a program that performed a web search for the prices of only 200 of the 500-plus gadgets, which you reviewed between episodes 1 and 563 inclusive. This is why I knew his result was a gross understatement of the true total and average cost. See paragraph 2 of original email inst. I, on the other hand, researched and entered the available prices for every gadget ever reviewed. By the way, all caps. Every gadget ever reviewed. See paragraph 8 of my original email. Finally, Dick completely passed over my figures for the total cost and average cost of every gadget reviewed for all 1,000 episodes. I take deep umbrage at the suggestion that my efforts to honor your accomplishment of 1,000 netcasts was either half-hearted or worse, half-assed. My efforts were nothing less than wholehearted and completely assed. Here are my figures again. See, this time he was smart. He summarized.
Yes.
Instead of sending you an 80-page spreadsheet, he summarized.
Okay.
Ludwig's estimate, based on a programmed web search of only 200 gadgets from episodes 1 through 563, average price $110, total cost $62,700. My results, based on hand data entry of available prices for all gadgets from episodes 1 through 563. By the way, we are now at episode 1012. Average price, $222.91. Total cost, $121,134.91. However, he did, in fact, do all 1,000 episodes. And he says, based on data entry of available prices for all gadgets, you know, I'd be irate, too. That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of
work. And we
work.
gave him short shrift.
We gave him medium shrift.
Yeah. He says, based on all gadgets, 1 through 1,000, the average price, $203.15. The total cost of all the gadgets in the first 1,000 episodes of the Daily Giz Wiz would have been, at current market value, $196,000, $442.67. Yours respectfully, Christian Bale. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to read that. I should have crossed that out. The slightly obsessed listener, Hollywood, California. Well, now we know.
See,
he did do the
That was a
work.
good reading. That was a good. I didn't know if you were reading his letter or auditioning for Audible.
He said,
But it was good.
I will never work with you again, he says. You are so unprofessional. I will never work with you again.
Is this a part of the letter that I didn't quite?
You missed that part.
I missed that part.
Anyway,
he
thank
did
you.
do a lot of work, and I'm sorry
apologize.
that
We
I messed up last
Totally
week.
apologize. He actually created an email address for this letter, slightly obsessed, at hisisp.com. That's how obsessed he is. Either that or he does it all the time. Maybe this is like a regular thing.
Could be. All right,
So-
now I feel better. I'm sure he feels better.
Yeah. Finally,
I get
somebody
some
takes me
satisfaction
seriously.
out of you two bozos.
We actually, I believe we have a recording that he submitted. This was, you didn't get this, but I did get this. It was submitted after the fact.
Oh, okay.
Of his, he was a little upset. He was a little upset.
Can you play?
Kick your ass!
Okay, I'm sorry.
I want you off the set,
Okay.
you
Okay. This
No,
is
don't just be sorry. Think for one second.
this is where he goes a
What
little
the
far.
are you doing?
Just went a little far.
Are you professional or not? Yes, I am. Do I walk around and rip that? No,
So
shut
you see, he was a little irate.
Yeah.
We'll make sure.
Actually, isn't that you talking to Dane when we got to CES and you found out he left the microphone at home?
I had nightmares that something like that would happen. But, you know, I have such a professional staff. They left me at home and brought the microphones.
Oh.
Very smart of them.
Go figure. Go figure.
Very smart of them. Dick, we have completed this episode of the...
I think we have.
In many ways.
And maybe our careers.
But we'll be back. No, we'll be back tomorrow. As long as they bleeped that, we'll be back tomorrow. See ya.
In that case, I'll be here.
DAILY. It's the Daily Giz Wiz. It's the Daily Giz Wiz. It's the Daily Giz Wiz.
It makes its own gravy.
Yeah.